Okay, in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what anchor text means. I'm going to show you an example of a site that is applying good SEO with their backlink strategy, and I'm also going to show you an example of a site that was doing bad SEO with their backlink strategy. All right, so the site that I'm going to reference that as a good example is Parker Wakeman. I think they're based out of New York as well as Florida and a couple other states. So as you can see here, it's a site. They're going after a lot of mass tort keywords here. Just for future reference, when I mention an anchor text link, this right here, like when I highlight over, maybe like birth defects, and you click on it and it takes you to a preceding page. Well, what I clicked on was an anchor text, right? And this right here it's saying birth defects as the keyword that they're linking to the next page. So it's passing a relevance signal to the following page, saying that this page is about birth defects. So that is what is referred to as anchor text. Okay, so now you have a frame of reference. I just want to show you what I mean by this site being a quality site. Using a tool called SEMrush and just putting in the site right there, the URL, yourlawyer.com, we can see that the monetary value of this site is $160,000 per month. Okay, that's because it ranks for 4,302 different keywords. And this algorithmically puts together a mathematical number to spit out how much the site would be worth if they were to have to get that same amount of traffic that they're getting organically on Google. However, if they would have to pay, the prices, like the cost per click prices for the same keywords. Okay, so now that you understand that, what we're going to do now is we're going to look at their backlink profile. Like, why does that site rank for 4,302 different keywords? Okay, so this right here is a tool. It's called Ahrefs, Ahrefs. It's a backlink discovery tool. There's a couple of them that we like. This is one of the better ones. This is a little bit more advanced, so if you don't have a pretty good grasp of SEO, you might get a little confused. There's some better ones that I mentioned previously, like OpenSiteExplorer.org, which is a little bit easier to understand, and that might be a better choice for you when you're looking at backlinks. But let's just look at this site here for an example. So this site has a total of 654,000 backlinks coming back to their site. Okay, that's a lot. While that number is important, the more important number is how many of those links are coming from unique referring domains. And it looks like there's a total of 2,500 unique referring domains that are linking back to that. I already mentioned this in the previous question. I kind of got into detail about that, so I won't get too much into detail about that. This is probably the more important number to look at. But in this video, what I wanted to do is I want to take that one step further, and I wanted to talk a little bit about backlink profile, meaning like what does the anchor text look like, your link diversification percentages look like. So here's an example. Let me close some of this out. All right, so let's close this out here. So what you're looking at here is this is the anchor text that people are using when linking back to this site, okay? So I'm just going to highlight on all of them here. So if somebody puts a link on their site and links back to yourlawyer.com, what are the keywords that they're using to link back to this site? So as you can see here, a natural link profile to Google looks something like this, people linking back using http www.yourlawyer.com. That looks natural to Google. www.yourlawyer.com, again, that looks natural to Google. Parker Wakeman LLP, that looks natural, right? So this is a very clean bill of health because, it's just a very natural way of building backlinks. It doesn't look manipulative. It's not against the Google guidelines. And that's the reason why Google is rewarding them, is just because they're playing within the rules of, of Google. And Google sets out some rules, and if you play by them, you're rewarded. So that's one of the reasons why this site ranks very well, okay? And when we start to look at, some of their links specifically, like I know they've got some educational links, we could start to then reverse engineer their strategy a little bit. Like I see that they've set up a scholarship page here. So if I go and I copy this, all right, so it looks like they've got a scholarship page, right? And then by looking at the backlinks, I can see, let's just click on domains here. I can see, like, for example, clark.edu, right? So there's all these different sites here. If I go to that page, clark.edu, well, it looks like they've got that scholarship. They posted it on this edu site, which is a little bit more trusted to Google because it's an educational university, and not just anybody can apply and get an edu URL like that. So Google looks at those as a little bit more trustworthy. So this is a great strategy. They're going out and they've created a $1,000 scholarship. You have to apply by, it looks like, May of 2014. And there's a backlink, right, to the application page. That's a great strategy because it's a natural way of building links, right? And they're not using a keyword in there like Lipitor attorney or Predax attorney. That would be manipulative, and that would be causing problems for them. All right, and I'm going to show that in my next example here. So anyway, this is yourlawyer.com. Great job. It looks like he's got a pretty strong SEO team that's doing a good job. All right, so now let's look on the opposite side of this. This is a site I just happened to stumble across. I don't know who they are. They're in Georgia, where I'm located. It's awjoneslaw.com, okay? This site looks like they did such bad SEO that they had to just abandon this URL and start over again. And when you go to this page, it says the law offices of Andrew W. Jones. Our website has moved to awjlaw.com, right? So let's look a little further at this. Before we go to the new URL, let's just click on the backlink profile of this site. Okay, first of all, let's see here. So the backlink profile of this site looks like they have a total of 1,800 backlinks coming back to this particular site. Of that, they're coming from a total of 192 unique referring domains, okay? So we're going to go a little further, and we're going to start to look at the anchor text that they're using when linking back to their sites. So, like, for example, all right, all of their links, there it goes. So this isn't too bad, right? So they've got 32% of their referring domains that say awjoneslaw.com privacy policy, right? So that's natural. However, 21% of their referring domains use the anchor text Marietta personal injury attorney. That does not look natural, because out of all the links that are coming back to their websites, would it really look natural that 21% used the exact match Marietta personal injury attorney as the link when linking back to it? So what do I mean by that? Well, here's this. It's a directory. It's called SEOdirt.com. Has nothing to do with law. It's got 0 page rank. And somebody went on this site and posted this directory listing, linking back to A.W. Jones Law, which was that old site there. And the keyword that they used was Marietta personal injury attorney. Well, this was a great strategy up until Penguin 2.0 and 2.1, but now Google has really hammered down on this, and these are now considered manipulative. So anybody that was going about it this way is starting to get penalized, because what's happening is it's throwing off the diversification percentages to look like an unnatural link profile. The next one would be Atlanta personal injury attorney with 7%. So just those 3 keywords right there almost account for, it looks like, what, 35, almost 40% of their anchor text. Whereas when we looked at Your Lawyer, it was a lot different. It was, it looked very much more natural, right? So if I go back to the anchors here, see, look, yourlawyer.com is 9%, yourlawyer.com 4%, Parker Wakeman 3%, yourlawyer.com without the www 2%, right? So that's a natural link profile. Going back over here, this is unnatural, 21%, just one keyword, 7%, another keyword. Here's another example of a bad link, Atlanta car accident attorney. It's in some random itjargon.com society law directory. Again, that's just a bad link. So what they've done is they've abandoned that URL. They didn't redirect the URL to the new one because they didn't want to bring along the penalty because the site is penalized. And what they've done is they've created a new site. This site's so new that it doesn't even have PageRank yet. They started their SEO strategy, and you can see some of the links that they're starting to build. So it looks like they have a total of, let's click on this here. Looks like they have a total of 222 backlinks coming from a total of 13 referring domains. If we look at their anchor text, see, now they're doing it differently, right? They've started over. They recognize what mistakes they've made. They probably hired a bad SEO company that was doing black hat strategy, and it got the site penalized. And now they've went with a different company, and it looks like they're following the guidelines, right? So they're off to a good start. So right there, 23% of their referring domain anchor text is going to just awjlaw.com. 15%, HTTP, awjlaw.com. So you can kind of see that they've kind of changed their tune a little bit. And then they're throwing in some with the exact match keyword. But, I mean, golly, look how much they've covered here. It's almost 70% before they start to do exact match anchor text link building. So that's just it. I just wanted to explain what I mean by like your anchor text diversification percentages, whether or not they look natural or unnatural. This is just one way to kind of look at that. And, Everspark Interactive, this is what we do all day, every day. We're experts at it. So if you wanted us to, take a courtesy look at your site, just, be sure to reach out to us. We'll be happy to do so. Thanks.